Recently, Nintendo confirmed that they were quite pleased with the success that Labo has had and that they were interested in keeping Labo around for quite some time. Well, we have seen those plans materialize today as Mario Kart 8 Deluxe adds Toy-Con motorbike support, and more games are getting Labo soon. Gabe, this is a very interesting way to increase the longevity of the Labo for owners of the cardboard, and it's interesting that it's adding kind of a new way to play Mario Kart 8.
Yeah, I mean, it's really cool. Update is available now. If you already have this built, you can just jump on and experience it for yourself. We noticed that, well, you noticed that there was like a little bit of a change in the camera. It says that, you're a little bit up close with the characters for increased immersion while riding. And it's a cool little novelty, isn't it? I don't want to call it a gimmick, although you might think it is. It just added value to stuff you already had. You don't have to pay for it. You can also ignore it. So pretty cool.
Yes, and we always thought of Mario Kart when we saw the motorbike game part of the variety pack. I think it's interesting that rather than bring Mario Kart into Labo, they're bringing Labo into Mario Kart, and this idea, as I mentioned, is going to continue into other first-party Nintendo games. Which ones seem like good fits for this Labo Switch crossover?
I mean, the first one that jumps at me, even though there's not a real connection, is it's not the variety kit. It's going to be the robot one, right? Because you can swing with those, and I start thinking arms. Obviously, hopefully they have better things lined up because there's, again, no direct connection between a robot and arms, but just sheer Labo working with the game, that kind of makes sense a little bit. I struggle to think of very many more. What's going to use a piano?
Yeah, because it seems like if we're to go based on this, and again, just what would make sense, it's okay, you have these pre-established constructions from the Labo kits, and then you can utilize those in other games. It would be very weird to me if, say, Kirby all of a sudden came up with a way to use Labo, but it had a separate build and separate instructions within Kirby Star Allies. That would seem very awkward to me. So,
I thought
again,
of one.
Okay.
And I would not be surprised at this at all. A minigame for Super Mario Party with the fishing thing.
Yeah, that's definitely one that could work. It seems like 1-2 Switch could potentially use this in some way if they want to try to get a little bit more gameplay out of that launch title. Other than that, it's man, you think about Splatoon 2. I mean, if they eventually made some sort of gun type Toy-Con, that would be a fit that makes sense just in terms of the gyro aiming and whatnot. It's hard for single player stuff. What do you use this for? You're not going to be, executing Bayonetta's best moves with cardboard. You're not going to be
hold on, Zach.
Here's one.
Zach.
Motorbike in Breath of the Wild for his motorbike.
Zach, that makes sense. First of all, that one's good. But I really think that Nintendo wants to keep the audiences of Bayonetta and Labo very separate.
Okay. Well, it was more to illustrate the point that it's hard to think of how, because again, it's not a separate mode per se. It's just a separate control option with a modified camera angle for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. I personally find it interesting that, again, they're going the route of Labo into other things versus other things into Labo. I feel like if around Christmas time they released a Labo kit that incorporated Nintendo's core characters, that would be an extreme boost for this genre, if you will, that Nintendo has sort of crafted out of thin air. Do you want Labo in other games? Would that make you pull Labo out again?
I mean, if I'm being honest, no, I'm not gonna. I mean, wait, do I want them in other games? It's gonna sound harsh. I don't care. I mean, if it's there for the people that want it, super cool. But it's not for me. I'm a 28-year-old man with no kids. I'm not. Labo's fun to build and it's fun to experience. But then once that experience is done, I'm not pulling out Labo, man.
Yeah, I think it is a cool initiative, and I like that they are trying to add value in whatever way they can. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is kind of a big enough, popular enough, evergreen title that most people that have Labo probably have Mario Kart. But if we are going to start getting a little bit more granular with things like ARMS or even 1-2 Switch or whatnot, then it's okay, you're required to have both of these things to kind of take advantage of this, so it doesn't feel as easy or as much of a added value. It's more just a different control method, right? So at that point, it's It reminds me of, and maybe it's not this crazy, but it reminds me of how people would utilize the Guitar Hero guitars or the Rock Band guitars to try and play other games.
Like Dark Souls.
And now I know that this is more of a logical fit than that, probably. But it does remind me of that, where it's like, oh, that's kind of fun for a second, but are you going to, use Toy-Con Motorbike for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe? When you get your friends over, you're really jonesing for some Mario Kart action. Like, I don't know. I find this to be a bit of an odd one. But let us know in the comments down below what games you think would be good fits for this. And if you will be, if you have Labo, if this is going to make you pull it out again. I do think that we end up getting another kit at some point. Maybe this is just a way to try to keep cardboard as part of the conversation between now and then.
And cardboard will forever be part of the conversation. I just think it's really cool. This appeals to younger audiences, which is always what was targeted at with Labo, so I definitely don't mind it.
Yeah, let us know if you're going to take advantage. Curious to hear your experience. Until next time, everybody, make sure to subscribe to stay up to date on all the latest and greatest from the Switch and whatever else they stick Labo into. We will definitely keep you posted. Follow us on Twitter and Discord. There's links in the description below. And for myself and Gabe, have a fantastic day. Switch Force out.